YUNKJunk.
Oh, this is a different one.
Hi, boys.
That's the they start remixes. Why did we choose Matthew Wink's "Loving Lips"?
Honestly, the first thing I did is I Googled Luke Charbonneau, and apparently Luke is like the mayor of some town that I've never heard of. So there's a LukeCharbonneau.com that's all about like Luke Charbonneau for mayor. And I was like, I could have put that up, and then I'm like, let's see if I can get a picture of Wink. And so I threw that up instead.
What state is Luke a mayor in?
What do you mean?
What state is he running for mayor?
I don't know. Computer's over there.
What do you mean? Not a state.
Now I'm locked in with you guys. Actually, you know what? I could Google stuff while we go.
Check out the Wi-Fi. Turn up. Take it off. What was it? It was Gangnam Style and Steve Lacy.
Yes. Just look that up. It's fucking great. I'm telling you, dude, it's like almost better than the actual Steve Lacy song, which I love.
I don't even know what the Steve Lacy song is.
It's called Inside. It's spelled N-S-I-D-E.
Inside. Take it off.
Take it back now, y'all.
So, you know when you FaceTime, there's a way to isolate the vocals?
Yeah.
Can you do that on Zoom?
What do you mean?
Set the audio setting to isolate the vocals, or
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can do it, but it's like you don't need to if you record it the way I do.
Okay.
How would you spell Gangnam Style if you had to guess?
So
G-A-N-G-N-A-M. Gangnam.
How much money do you think that guy's worth?
Way more than you would think.
Way more, right?
Is my guess. Is that like
5 mil?
More than we think.
That's it?
I'm not gonna say
Yeah, he's got one hit.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's an Asian hit.
It's a Korean.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them
Korean
over
hit.
there.
But yeah, maybe he's got some more K-pop stuff that we don't know.
Wappa Gangnam Style.
Still touring. What's his name? Psy?
Psy.
Psy, yeah.
Gangnam Style by Psy.
Steve Lacy. It's on YouTube. You can't find it on Spotify or anything.
Never I see your smiling face. All right, guys. So we're well into the podcast. But some of that stuff was good, that stuff that we started with. And also now I can Google, which is
Psy's estimated around $60 million.
That's nothing compared to our guys.
For one song. $60 million.
He's got more than one song.
No.
Did you see the Dave episode where he tried to make a K-pop hit?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, and they get kicked out of Korea.
He just like makes it very offensive is the joke to Korean people.
The latest episode of Dave featuring CL parodies how Western artists have scrambled to plunder K-pop for their own gain. Time Magazine. That's from Time Magazine. Why?
Fucking Dave. Yeah, man.
Hey, what happened to Lil Dicky?
A long time ago. If we're going to recap shows that we were on over 2 years ago.
You know what? We should just exclusively recap shows that are on over 2 years ago. That's a great idea. They had to have ended.
These shows are coming?
Yeah, they had to have ended before like
9/11.
2015.
9/11 from what year?
9/11.
2015.
21. 2 years ago.
So, because you know what show I think about all the time, and I thought it went off the air like just a couple years ago? The League.
Grace.
Dude, The League is so old.
I love The League.
The League ended in 2015. The League will be off the air for 10 years in a year and a half.
That's fucking crazy.
Right? And
That's
that was one of
crazy.
the last like good shows. So that makes sense. Right around 2015, it all stopped.
Shit.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite city?
New York.
Is
by
it?
far.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah.
What? I want to know about cities.
New York is fun. New York is the
That
best.
can't
city.
be what this podcast. We don't. The world doesn't need another podcast about a-holes talking about dumb shit.
You actually could have
How
stopped.
about
You
I
could have
got an
stopped with
idea?
just the world doesn't need another podcast.
Yeah.
But
So I got an idea.
I truly believe we're gonna find gold. I still believe, man. We took a couple weeks off, and I was like, man, we had a good run. I'll probably never see those guys again.
It was 1 week
The
off.
podcast is every week we prove to Zach why the world needs another podcast.
All right.
Down.
So the reason why the world needs another podcast is there aren't enough popular podcasts about what I exclusively am interested in.
That
And
can't be true.
it is. There's not enough of just what I want. Like a lot of people talk about what I want and extra stuff. And I want something with no stuff, no fluff, just buff. I didn't have a word. I ran out of words.
Okay, but if you could just give me like 3 adjectives.
Yep.
Of what your perfect podcast would be.
Bubbly. Cheesy, which could be also like about cheese, or it could be just a little goofy and cheesy. You know, like Ninja Turtles, the original movie, cheesy. And I want it to be gut-bustingly funny. You know?
Okay. Can I get 3 topics?
3 topics about...
3 topics to apply to those beautiful adjectives.
Okay. So, what was adjective 1? Bubbly. So it's
They
going to
don't
be...
fit the core line.
So you want microwaved or boiled nacho cheese dip?
Yeah. Yo.
Bubbly cheese that is gut busting.
Oh, so we could be like a crockpot podcast where we just discuss
Crockpod.
Crockpot.
Crockpod.
Dude, welcome
That's
to the Crockpod. Google it.
Welcome to Crockpod, man. We just talk straight crockpots, and we got a very we have
a melting pot of subjects.
They got one called the Crockpot, but it's a smorgasbord of sports news. We literally exclusively want to talk about crockpot recipes.
Yes. And we have a very autumn aesthetic. Because when I picture crockpots, it's football season. It's
Looking at recipes.
It's sweaters. The house smells good. I'm coming home to the wife I don't have and the kids I don't want.
Who the fuck is pitching beans as the first crockpot recipe? It's got to be meat and cheese.
Yeah. Chilies, soups, pot
Someone
roast.
calling me?
Ooh, I could talk pot roast all day.
I don't know how far I could get there. To be honest, I got nothing. I got nothing in the pot roast category. Nothing's going on up here.
Buffalo chicken dips.
I let my lady do most of the cooking for me. It's pretty nice.
Honestly, I do too. And it sucks because it takes forever to get simple meals. Like she can whip up something super advanced, but it'll take her 3 days in every pot. But I eat the same thing every day, and she's bored of it. But lately, she has been crushing it. She's been crushing like every day. I'm like, I need a grilled chicken breast between 2 pieces of bread, slice of cheese, Frank's Red Hot. Boom. That's lunch. 50 grams of protein, no problem. Then I also need my meat potatoes side just in case I get hungry. And that's fry up an 8-ounce steak, cut it into chunks, roast some potatoes, which she does magic potatoes. I don't know how she does these magic potatoes. And then just put them in a little bowl. And then I got 2 delicious treats for the day. Because before that, I'm eating an egg sandwich and I'm taking it with me on the go. Because I'm a 3 sandwich a day guy. You got to have your breakfast sandwich, your lunch sandwich, and your dinner sandwich. And an ice cream sandwich for dessert.
Whoa, so that's 4.
You know what? Sandwiches all around.
You throwing an PB&J in there?
Or like do you go down on your lady? You have a pussy sandwich once a day?
Not once a day. Are you out of your mind?
There's a podcast.
Dude, we live together. That's crazy.
Is it?
Oral every day. What
Either
world are
way?
you in?
How long you been living together?
Like 6 months, maybe like 5 months. But it is.
And you've been dating a year? Today's the 1-year anniversary?
Yeah. 1 year anniversary. Yeah,
And you
1 year
moved in
anniversary
together
with the
after
old
6
lady.
months?
Is today really your 1 year?
Yep, we're going to dinner right after this. I got to meet
congrats.
her at the place where we had our first date, which is
So
called
you're having a pussy sandwich tonight.
Pepperoncini. Well, yes.
I fucking hope so.
Good.
Yeah, good. Put your dick between 2 slices of bread. Frank's Red Hot.
What's the weirdest place? No, I don't want to go that way.
Yeah, go for
Nah.
it. We're committed.
This week on What's the Weirdest Place You've Stuck Your Penis?
Like, are we talking holes? Are we talking locations? Just inanimate objects?
I think it's
Speaking
a
of
dealer's choice, man.
anniversaries, it's my grandmother's 90th birthday tomorrow,
Wow.
Hey.
and
That's
we're
a pivot.
going to eat dinner with the whole fam. Wink's going to be there, and yeah, Luke just got done with his 2-hour-long interview. Have we started?
2
Yep, check it
hours.
out.
What do you guys think about dads? Because Luke's a dad and the 3 of us are not. I'm a dog dad.
I think too much about dads as it is.
What do you mean?
Like, I just wrote a whole movie about dads, and I spend the majority of my day just like worrying about my dad getting old.
What's it
And,
called? What's your movie called?
Empty Chairs.
Oh, sounds heavy.
I think the dads are very important, just as important as moms are. Obviously, young men have a different relationship towards their fathers than they do their dads or their moms, their fathers and their dads.
Yeah.
Did you get
I
that?
think about legacy a lot, and I obviously, you continue your dad's legacy, the name. That's just kind of how it works. Ever since my album 100 Years, that deals a lot with legacy, carrying on your name. My dad and my grandfather were on the cover with me in that Photoshop that I made.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think about dads a lot, dude.
What about you, Terry?
I mean, I obviously do. Not as much as I certainly used to, but I wonder. I think of the concept of old dads now, and like certainly for the 3 of us, like we ain't that young, so it's like back's gonna be hurting and all that kind of stuff. So I just think about it from the perspective of, is there a dad window? And I often think, no, there's not. I mean, my energy's not going down, but it will. I'm aware of that eventually it will. And I don't, I'll tell you what I think about all the time. I think about how is it possibly sustainable to be a good dad and good in your career or in dedication. I think about that a lot. So whenever I see someone who does it, I'm in awe of it. Like there's this, I happen to know like the world's greatest back surgeon, full stop. Not like as in he has the title. And I did a video about him, and I just remember watching how excited he was when his kids came home. And we started our day at like 4 a.m. 4 a.m, we were there doing a surgery, comes home, and then is just working on the computer. And I mean, nonstop working and like interested in it. And then all of a sudden he just like goes like this. Because he heard, it was like a dog when when someone gets home, and it was like a dog just noticing that something was there, and he looked over and it was kids coming off of the school bus, and he jumped up and was so excited to go see them, gave them a big hug, immediately took them out to the swimming pool, like stopped everything for that 2 hours, and I was just like, that's impossible. I don't know how to do that, So I think about it in that realm of, I know I would be a great dad, but I know I would be a great dad when I was there. And I know it would be right now, I would be like a terrible dad when I'm not there. Because kind of like, that's the separation. I think that's necessary. I think that's why, the two-parent system exists, so that like one can do providing or whatever while the other's nurturing, or one can get a break while the other's nurturing. I don't know. I think about it in like, if I ever see a single father getting a lot done, I don't understand. I can't compute. That's just amazing. It's inspiring too.
Yeah. I mean, just any parent that does it, I can't, it's really hard for me to imagine. And that's another thing I think about a lot too. And I'm like, I don't know if I could do it, man. I don't know. Like, but what everyone will tell you is obviously everything changes as soon as you have a kid. That's just all we've all heard forever. But yeah, I mean, just the fucking energy that it takes, the only way that I can relate is when I've been around my nephews, and I know that I would do anything for them. But there are some times when, I know my role is like the crazy fun uncle when I come over and I'm giving my sister, my brother-in-law a little bit of a break. I can like go and hang out with the kids outside or go down in the basement, hang out with the kids and just goof around. But there are some times like after I've been hanging out with them for 2-3 hours or a day or two in a row, I'm like, holy shit, like I'm fucking spent, and I'm just looking at my sister and my brother-in-law like, how the fuck do these guys do it? But it's clearly just, it's got to be just like love, it's just fucking like,
you just have
ramp
to
up your energy, to another level.
Yeah, you just have to. That's like, nobody's ever prepared or ready. You just, there's no other choice. You can either be a piece of shit or not.
A piece of shit?
Yeah. If you're not giving all your love and effort, like you're going to fail. You're going to fail a billion fucking times. That's a learning lesson one way or the other that really molds your kids. You're going to fail. You have to accept that. But as long as you keep trying, keep showing up and loving the kid, then you're the best dad in the world.
Yeah.
I looked up, what does dad energy mean? It means you give off a caring, responsible energy. They feel safe with you. Guys with dad energy are generally long-term relationship material. However, what it means to have daddy energy,
oh boy,
well, it kind of says the same. I thought that was going to go somewhere else. So you know what? We'll work on it. We'll workshop that, because I thought that was going to be funny. It just says it's a person who can always emit the father-like energy of a provider, or someone who looks like they will always adore and care about you. That's a load of shit. Always adore and care about you, no matter what you do. No. Dads, if you screw up, we'll let you know you screwed up.
Yeah.
They won't abandon you, but they'll tell you.
Being, disciplinarian. That's caring. It's not in an affectionate way, but it's still caring. I know it is affectionate. Hey, asshole, I'm going to teach you a lesson so you don't grow up to be more of an asshole, because I care about your well-being and who you're going to be.
Are you guys Jordan Peterson folks? Do you ever watch any of him? He's a really good statement about fatherhood, and he just says, like, it's your job to make sure you actually like being around your child, because you're sending them out there, and you don't want to send out someone who nobody likes into the world. So you kind of have to teach them how to have behaviors and skills so that they'll be liked, and you should like your child. If you don't like your child, that's your fault,
Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Unless they were just born a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or whatever, I don't think you can stop that from happening.
So did you guys hear about, speaking of, parent-child relationship, but this is like the nightmare to every parent. Right up here in Wilton, this past week, a girl disappeared. There was an Amber Alert.
Oh, shit.
She was kidnapped.
That was in Wilton?
She's kidnapped in Lake Moreau.
So,
when she was camping and they got the fingerprints up.
The guy that works in our kitchen, it was his niece.
Wow.
They found her 2 days later. Thank God. They found her in this guy's in the cupboard in this guy's trailer.
Yeah, that's wild.
In Milton. They found it
in Boston Spa.
Yep. She was taken in Moreau State Park.
Yeah, they were camping, right?
Yep. And then they found her in
The
Milton.
the dude who kidnapped her put a ransom note on their house or whatever while there was a cop out watching.
So
and the
found
cop
him.
didn't. The guy dropped the ransom note off.
Fingerprints. They found it because fingerprints that they had from like a Dewey that he had in like '99 or some shit.
What was that word?
A Dewey.
What?
I thought. Did you say kiwi? He had a
Dewey.
kiwi.
A Dewey.
Oh,
I feel like Dewey's an exclusively upstate New York thing.
get out of here, Dewey. Can we talk that?
Wrong kid died.
That's the best one. That's the best one. That's the best movie that's ever been.
It's really up there, man. You got to watch it on mushrooms. It's fucking insane.
I'd love to. I've been sober for the past 60 days, so I'm ready to get back out there.
The other day. Never stop, never stopping. Is the tagline or whatever. That movie, dude, like
Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. Yeah, oh my God, that is a funny movie. 2016. That's one of the that's when it stopped.
Yo, everything that they do, every movie they've done, I'm like, why don't more people talk about this shit?
Yeah.
The one that they did the Tour de France one.
That one's the Bash Brothers one.
They did the
steroids one.
That one, the tennis one.
Tent?
Yeah, they did all those little shorts for a while on HBO.
Yeah, HBO, yeah.
Oh, I love
my favorite movies ever.
They all got crazy names too. Well, two of them. One's just Andy, but Akiva and Jorma. Jorma.
A bunch of stuff that you'd be surprised.
Well, they're the hot rod guys. You know, Lonely Island, then Hot Rod.
Terry, are you thinking about becoming a father soon?
I'm thinking about getting my stuff tested to see if I have the capability. I was just thinking back, like all three of us, we did some damage to our bodies over the years, like damage.
You think you're fertile?
That's what that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is because that's something I'm really curious about. Is that even a possibility? For me, I have to get my financial house in order, as Robert De Niro said in Meet the Parents, or Meet the Fockers, rather. And I'm in the very similar situation to what Greg was, where he had it all going on, but there was some weird oddities that were just happened to be happening at that time. And that all just kind of happened to me in the beginning of the summer. So I had a bunch of weird stuff going on, and then we just had a bunch of things to do, like as far as major events in people's lives and lots of travel and stuff. So I found myself like underneath a burden, and I worked my way out of it. Now we're back to normal. But there's a couple things I want to do just to shore up the foundations before going that route. For example, I don't really think I want Lisa working if we go down that path. Just because the whole childcare thing, I think I can handle everything else. So I'd rather just like go the distance and be able to have a stay-at-home person, because that helps me. Of just like, I can go way, way harder in what I do if someone's kind of taking care of the other stuff, which is like super traditional. I wouldn't care if she was like, a corporate attorney or something like that. Then it wouldn't be as big a deal. But I think I'm super, super career, and she's super, super nurturing anyway. So we can just kind of go that direction. Should we go that way? What?
She's a lawyer?
No, she's not a lawyer. Well, I'm saying if she was, that would be a different story. But I think she's just born to be like a nurturer type person. And
you're saying,
what's that?
You're saying the only acceptable job for a woman to have
is corporate attorney. Yes.
Stay-at-home mom is a corporate attorney.
Yes.
Otherwise, she has to stay at home and raise your children.
Well, I mean, kids, I work in marketing. I know what those salaries are.
Interesting. There's one surefire way to find out if your loads are working or not.
That's that.
Just start pumping them in there. The old-fashioned way.
That's how you find it. No. Like I said, I got to get my house in order, and it will be. I've got a difficult, not difficult. I've got a long fall ahead of me, as in autumn. I have a long autumn ahead of me, and then things will be right as rain. There's just always something going on, and I feel like if I.
Yeah, but there's always going to be something going on. I think that's just life.
I don't think that's true. I think people say that, but I don't think that's true. I think you can control enough of your existence to know, okay, now would make sense. I wouldn't struggle for the next 5 years. Do you know what I mean? Instead of,
Sure.
oh shit, I'm in a panic for the next 20 years of my life.
Yeah. I think the rest of my life's always going to be a panic.
What are you doing? Why do you
never
look like you're about to
happening.
massage your brains out?
Because I'm good. Everything's cool.
Are you sure? You were
Yeah.
just holding a massage gun like suicide. I can't say that word on YouTube or they'll pull us off.
For real?
Is it really?
Yeah, you can't say a depiction of self-harm.
What if you're talking about suicide doors on a Lamborghini?
Well, there you go. We're demonetized.
It's a type of door that certain cars have.
Oh, I don't know.
Lamborghini doors.
Suicide doors when they go up and down.
Depends the
They
processing.
probably don't call them that anymore.
Yeah, of course they do. Every rap song ever called them suicide doors.
That was 50 Cent, and this is how we do. This is how we do.
Which was 20 years ago.
Do you think they call
Long
them
time.
suicide doors because like you can put your head in and there's a
They
like
should
a-
call them guillotine doors.
a
Guillotine
guillotine
doors.
effect?
Interesting.
Well, there's a rumor that
The Rolls Royce
So I-
has them.
I actually, speaking of 20 years ago, rap lyrics with like that type of door. Jeez. So yeah, I was like 15 or 16 years old, and I did a rap line. It was one of my good, like, this is like when I first started rapping, I was like less than a year in. I was like, when I did this, I was like, ooh, okay, I got something going here. I said something like, better watch out for the Lamborghini doors because you might turn around and have your fingers on the floor or something like that. Because there was a rumor that some rapper lost
Chop
his
your fingers off?
at the Lamborghini doors. Yeah.
I could see
Very
that.
cool.
Watch
Is it
out for the Lamborghini doors.
Who's that guy on the Giants? JCP Pell?
Blew his hand off.
Yeah.
The
Fireworks.
life. That's him.
Was it JPP?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen his hand?
I'm Googling it right now.
Oof.
Oh,
That shit's
I'm laughing because, in the pictures, he's in good spirits. He's like, hey!
he doesn't deserve it.
Oh, that's mangled.
Yeah.
It's weird to use the word mangled because, it means this. But people say, oh, he got mangled. Nah, man. His body is different now.
Yeah, that's mangled.
I think they say it actually kind of helped his football. Like, he was a defensive end. I don't know how it could have helped, to be honest, but
Good enough.
Is he still playing? Oh, no, that was
No, but
2016. He's got to be out by now.
he had a long career
Yeah.
after that.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Who are athletes you look up to?
Only the greats.
Kobe, for me, was huge.
Curry. Kobe's
Uh,
great. Messi. People just did it the right way, you know? They didn't
Yeah.
fucking get in stupid trouble. They didn't sell out. They, did it their way and benefited from all of that in the end. Love a
Yeah.
good, love a good underdog. Like I always think
Yeah.
about Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z is like it's called the blueprint for a reason. That guy did it so right. It's to me, it's the only fucking way to do it.
All right, this is a good opportunity for y'all to educate me. Why did Jay-Z do it right? How so? I know nothing about him except that I just know that he laughs like that sometimes. And it
She
could
just
be
went crazy.
Well,
It
no,
could
was
be-
that an impersonation?
yeah, because it could be hilarious.
Your boy.
Oh,
But
He
why?
just did it
Honestly, teach
because he
me.
did it his own way. Couldn't get a record deal, started his own record label. Started this, became a
drugs.
billionaire from a drug dealer, and now he's the most regarded artist of all time. Doesn't have a bad album. Even when he got old, for his last album, we were like, he's got nothing left to say. He's washed up. He makes the most personal album he's ever made in his career, and it's arguably the best.
That's the top 3 for me. For Jay, that 444 album is
Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
He came out, he was in a bunch of trouble, catching hot water for cheating on Beyonce, and he turned it into and that's what I think. Me and my friend talk about the point of art all the time. And I think there's levels to it. I think the highest level of art when you can draw attention to a cause. I don't know. I have never made art like that that's going to help a civil rights movement or the world or global warming or whatever it is. If you can make moving, incredible art and it's helping a cause, that's the highest level. I'm still on a level of like, I'm going to make my personal experience relatable and interesting and moving, but it's not helping fucking anything. You know what I mean? I'm not helping anybody. Maybe I help some people who read this and relate to it and you get a little entertainment or relief or you relate, but I'm not, to me, the highest level of art, you are going to take your experience, make it beautiful poetry, but also help the fucking world. You know what I mean?
Well, Zach, I would beg to differ, thinking that your art is never going to help anyone. I come from the belief that all art helps. Like even before we even knew we were starting the podcast, I'm telling you guys that I've been binging all day that show Invincible. Like that. There's always stuff that's going on in people's lives. It's an escape. To be able to just kind of, it's not even shutting your brain off, but it's because I don't even like that when people say that, but it's something to, divert your attention to. And it's not, sometimes people need it to, whether it's good or bad, to avoid certain situations, or some people, it helps people get through really tough times. It's always helping someone, even if you're not doing something that's like, okay, the point of this project that I'm working on is to, this is for people that have gone through this, or this is, all of the proceeds are going to go towards this, which is great, but it's just actually very hard to do, to make good art when you're setting out to do that. If that's the sole purpose of it, I would imagine. But I think it's always, the world, it truly makes life worth living. And it's very underestimated, I think, in a sense. Even though as much as lauded as famous artists are, I still think it's very underrated. And I think it's the most important thing that anyone can do.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not saying that mine hasn't or won't help anybody. I've just meant like look at Tupac. Why is he revered on such a level like that? They just always have something to say. It's not always just self-expression of my feelings. It's fucking bigger worldly shit. And I just really admire people who can make art, but also draw attention to a cause that needs it at the same time. That's high level shit.
I admire it, but I also kind of, at the same time, I kind of reject it. I like to separate it. I really do. I like to separate the art from anything else that it does and look at it based on an artistic venture, as opposed to, what's happening in society or what effect someone wants it to have on society. For me, I think you lose a little bit of purity if you definitely lose purity if you're chasing a cause and the cause came first. Whereas I think if it helped the genesis of the idea in your head for you to come up with that material or something, I think that's a different story. But I'm personally tired of anybody putting a cause in any sort of artistic work. And I'd like to go back to let's just make fun stuff. Let's just make things that are they're not globally important.
I'm right there.
I think the difference
could
is
become globally important.
When the art is excellent, you're not beaten over the head with it. You're just moved by both the art and what he's saying. You know what I mean?
So you got to have nuance if you're going to do like a subject, like, so I think where Terry, where you're saying you're sick of it is because it's gotten to a point where a lot of this stuff, there's no nuance. And I'm talking not only music, but in movies right now too. Movies, TV shows, there's always just a fucking, there's an agenda. They gotta be like, woke, for lack of a better term. But I think we're we have this, woke fatigue right now as a society, at least as consumers. For me personally, like I am kind of over it as well. I definitely look at it side-eyed as soon as I see, this is what okay. This better be good. There's better be some nuance here, or else I'm not going to get down with it at all.
There's this movie. It came out like in the spring, summer, called Monica. It's about the most brilliant idea I've seen of combining both of exactly what we're talking about, right? It was a trans movie, and it was starring a trans woman, the most beautiful trans woman I've ever seen. This woman's just fucking stunning. And the concept of the film is her mother has dementia or Alzheimer's, and so she can't remember that this was her son at one point. She doesn't even recognize the person. And you find out that there's history. When she transitioned, she kicked her out of the house and she hasn't been back in years. And so now she's dying, and her brother calls her to come back and spend her dying days with her mom. And they develop this new relationship, never knowing it's her actual, kid. And I was like, conceptually, I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fucking brilliant. And you're mixing both of those things. It's very topical, like what you were just discussing. It has that hook of like, trans being a very popular topic and call to civil justice in this time and day. But it had that beautiful minutia, like you're saying, our nuance of like crafting it into like a very moving fucking story at the same time. And I was really excited to see it. And I was like, wow, this is what it should be. If like you're going to do a topical thing, if you do it with a great story, it doesn't, you have best of both worlds. And the execution, unfortunately, just like wasn't great. I was so disappointed.
Then it's shit.
Yeah.
Then it's garbage and it's shit and it shouldn't have been made. That's what pisses me off. Get off the topic. Make something good. Just make it good.
Indie film. It's a good indie film. No one's going to see at best. But I just thought the potential.
You just said it. What you just said it didn't. You just said like you didn't like it.
I said it didn't meet my expectations. I think I gave it
all of a sudden, Terry, you just became like a second tier, like 1920s gangster.
Yeah.
You just said it. See?
Let me tell you something, Snakes. Snakes, you said this was a good picture. You said this was a good picture, and it's trash. It's always been trash. It's always going to be trash because it was made by trash. No.
Like you're sick at it.
No,
now,
I was
boom. I let me just comment on that real quick. Is that story sounded great?
It's an incredible story.
But I could give a shit about it being topical. I almost wish the idea was just make the story you want to make, regardless of if it's topical or top of mind, because that to me is triumphant. If you could come from outside of something that's not popular and bring it into the cultural narrative through your art piece, that is amazing.
Yeah. Well, Moonlight.
I'm going to go even further back, dude. I would say fucking Will and Grace started gay acceptance, 100%. That show changed everything.
Played a huge part for sure.
But you know what? It was funny. It was good. It was well acted. It was well crafted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But what you said, Terry, I think sometimes you need a hook just to sell something in this day and age in this market. And those things are sellable right now because of, just where the world's at.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you at all. I think that's more of a gatekeeper problem.
Yeah.
Because as free as we are to make whatever we want and do whatever we want, no one's going to see it unless there's someone in the room that has some algorithm magic, or has the ability to get you on a thing. Like, for example, like if you appear on the Joe Rogan Experience, people will look at your shit. That's one of the last like true gateways left of like literally that guy is a tastemaker now, because the classic tastemakers we're tired of it. We don't want to be marketed to anymore. We just want something authentic. So it's great, but at the same time, when you democratize an entire industry, an entire art form, everybody jumps in. I mean, Cole and Luke got in through SoundCloud. It wasn't through SoundCloud.
I mean, we started with
or was
SoundClick.
it through performance?
No one knows what that is now these days. But yes, I was on SoundCloud before, and SoundCloud, dude, like that. Yeah, that's a more apt app to bring up, because that was before Spotify. That was before Apple Music, and before Tidal. SoundCloud was fucking huge. If you had a song that had 1 million plays on SoundCloud, people are going to pay attention to you.
Didn't Jay-Z have one? Titus? Did I make that up? Tidal.
That's his, which is it's the best one quality wise, and they pay the artists the most, but people just aren't really on it. Everyone's on Spotify.
And
the consumers are on Spotify.
His music used to only exclusively be on Tidal.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a way to get people to try to get it.
Didn't Kanye West do something similar?
No, he was on Tidal.
No, he had that one thing.
Album privately.
Oh, his last album was on the I bought it. It's
You have it?
Yeah, I have one. It's around here somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah, I forget what it was fucking called.
Was it an MP3 player?
I only used it like 3 times. It looks really cool. At this point, it's just kind of like a relic. It's just like a decoration. No regrets. But yeah, that was the only way you could get his last album before he put it on streaming like 2 months later. It was this piece of hardware that it's a circle. It looks really cool. It's just like beige off brown color. And it feels like, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like rubbery a little
I'm
bit.
looking at
like
it.
Softer and smoother than that. You're looking at it.
It's called Donda.
It's called what?
Donda?
That was the name of the album. That's not the tangible device.
The Donda stem player.
The stem player. Yep, the stem player. So you can they call it the stem player because you can take out stems from the tracks and just play. You can isolate the vocals, or you can isolate just the bass, or you can, pick and choose and put whatever combination you want to put together. It's really cool. And then I could even download, songs, any song onto that thing, and it could break it down just the same way. So then I could take the vocals out of some song I want to sample and then re-record that into my sampler and chop that up and make a beat out of it. It's a really cool tool.
You're a cool tool.
Thanks.
Well, boys, it's 6:30, so it's probably time to call a certain someone.
Yeah, let's call. Hey, should we just call Luke and do it to Luke?
Call Luke to call Pete.
Okay.
Do it to Luke first. Just see what he does.
I really liked his bit last week where he was going to the bathroom and talking to himself. That's great. Luke's bits.
Yeah.
Hey, have you gone to the bathroom yet today?
No. Yeah, a lot. But
You got a lot.
yeah, I went a lot today. Drink a lot of water.
Okay, good. Well, you home yet?
No.
Well, we just got enough time for you to hop on and call Dad and maybe go to the bathroom if you need to.
Okay.
So,
Do I have to go to the bathroom? Or can I just walk into
No.
the bathroom?
Wherever
Yeah.
you are right now, go to the bathroom.
it's up to you.
Actually, I do have to pee.
All right, cool.
Everybody pee.
That's great.
I just got home.
All right, so we'll see you in a bit.
Tell him to hurry.
That's it. My daughter has to say hi to me. Give me a second, guys.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.
You know what? Immediately, kid sounds awful. I'm flipping sides.
she can't even talk.
Yeah. What do you
Can't
say?
walk
You
or talk.
fucking idiot.
Sometimes when we touch, I only feel too much. I'm gonna hold you till the fear in me subsides. What's
Terry,
this?
did you see Dumb Money?
No, not yet. I really want to see it. Is it on streaming? Because I don't go to theaters anymore.
I don't think it's on streaming yet, but I'm so mad
Why don't you go to theaters?
when I go to theaters.
I'm done watching movies with slobs and clowns. It's ruined the experience for me of people just not knowing how to behave in theaters anymore. It's insane.
Wow.
Do you have a story recently of something that happened?
No, I've just haven't been in the theater in a long time and had an enjoyable experience. There's just always someone
part of the
talking.
problem,
There's
Derek.
always someone taking phone calls, FaceTime. It's gotten crazy in there of like what people are considering appropriate behavior to the point where like I want to open a theater with like bouncers in every room of like get out if you are misbehaving. You know, it's just
Do you think that's a product of just living in Philadelphia and everyone's a piece of shit there?
no. It
Yeah.
happens out in the suburbs. It happens
Well,
out in the
I
suburbs. It
never
happens
witnessed
everywhere.
any of that.
I've never experienced it. I mean, maybe it's because it's LA and
Well, you're in LA. People are like,
we should film more.
people are like, hey, my brother was in this. There's an old Pete Holmes joke about that, where he's like, where he's saying not like when you make fun of a movie, people are like, hey, you make a movie. You make a movie, okay? And it's like,
That's me.
yeah. And it's kind of like, well, you should be able to critique anything. Like, it's not like if you have a bad cake, someone and you're like, it's not like someone who makes cakes comes out and is like, you make a cake. You make a cake, huh? You know how hard it is to make cakes? It's the cake boss.
Anytime I hear Pete Holmes, I'm like, Terry's a combination of Pete Holmes and Mac from Always Sunny.
Yo,
That's who you are.
yo, that's great
Yeah.
that you brought that. Because so many times I look at Mac or just his mannerisms when he talks, still even the way that he is now. I'm like, that's Terry. I get so much Terry from that.
Pete Holmes especially.
But Pete Holmes more of the positivity. you
Yeah,
know,
silly, goofy, fun time. That's definitely Pete
Yeah.
Holmes.
Hilarious.
I mean, the hardest I ever.
By the way, his HBO show was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Crashing. It was awesome.
That was a great show.
That was that's. I think Judd Apatow did that, and then he did the Pete Davidson movie, and right before it, he did the Amy Schumer movie. Whatever happened to her?
Aim Shooms.
Yeah, she's
She
Not caring. An edgy woman is really exciting
she
anymore.
got caught stealing jokes.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Everyone steals jokes.
She
Everyone
got
does a
caught,
little
but
bit.
It was indefensible.
Yeah, and there's funnier ladies out there. Michelle Wolf makes me laugh so hard.
She's good.
She's great.
She's amazing.
I like her.
And then who's the
I
other
don't-
one?
I saw her. I saw
She
her
might
in the
be
city.
it. She literally just might be the only one.
It's the Cellar, the one in the Village, the little comedy club.
Yeah.
I went with Luke and my buddies Will and Nick. We just went on a random night, which those tickets are harder to get than you think. Like we had to like buy them like 2 weeks in advance. And this was just on a night. Like it was like a Tuesday night when we were all living in the city. And we went down there and it was just a bunch of guys, trying to just fucking work their way up. But you never know. There might be somebody that's going to go get up on stage. And she was one of the people that was there and got up. She was fucking hilarious.
She always is.
I was lucky.
You
Yeah.
get kind of nervous when you go to a stand-up show like that. You get kind of nervous. You're like, am I going to be able to laugh in a
Luke's
small...
trying to join.
Oh, Luke's joining?
He said he tried. What does that mean?
Uh-oh.
Let him in.
All right. And then I got a boogie.
Let him fucking in.
Let me in.
I'm gonna go see Shia LaBeouf in a play in Venice on Wednesday.
Nice. What's it about?
I don't know. It's a Mamet play, so it's probably about
What's that?
a David Mamet play. So it's probably about small town crime, if I had to guess.
Luke FaceTiming me.
Yeah, he's not trying to
Sometimes when we touch,
What's up?
It's too much.
I can't.
Terry just stood up to go over and try to let you in.
Yeah. Just have him call and let's just do the Pete thing because I got to wrap up. I got a dinner to get to.
And I have to.
You want to just do it on the phone?
Yeah. Just do a merge call.
All right. Yep. So Luke, just call me and then
Well, you're already on the phone.
What's the football game?
We're FaceTime right now though.
Oh God.
So call me and then conference dad and we'll do the house Pete.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Redskins? Is it Redskins?
What are you asking?
Who's playing tonight?
Why do you have a vibrator in your mouth?
Not a fucking vibrator, Terry. I have TMJ. My face hurts all the time, so I have to
All right, guys. Luke's on.
You have too much jizz?
Too much jizz in my
Well,
cheeks.
Luke, you got to do it though because it's got to be coming from you.
I got ad call. Oh yeah, you're right.
Ad call.
You gotta spit, guys. All right, just get stored up in your cheeks.
Too much jizz.
Yeah,
Here we go, fellas.
That's the name of a
medical term.
podcast.
How's
TMJ.
Pete?
Okay,
How's
so
Pete?
for next week.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting to the point of this podcast.
You there?
You on speaker?
He's calling him. Yeah, we're on speaker.
Hey, it didn't work.
It didn't work. All right, let me see if I can add him.
All right, you try.
Or Pete's just growing tired of our fucking shenanigans.
TMJ.
Call him up and be like, Pete, have you ever had
Hey,
TMJ?
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Automated
He muted you. It happened. Leave him a message.
Yeah, leave him a message. Just be like, how you doing?
Oh, I think Cole just froze. Oh, he's back.
All right, let me try him one more time.
That's bullshit. He knows what we're
Make
doing.
sure you his voice, even though
No.
I think you guys are getting choppy.
Here we go.
He's been free every other week at this time. Sometimes when
I gotta put the. You know what?
It's not working.
That picture's reminding me. I gotta put together Wink's wedding videos.
All right, I'll let you go, Luke.
All right. So homework. Make sure we have a recorded message from Pete.
Nice. Good, Luke.
All right, so next week,
I swear to God, I'll do that.
But you just said you got the job, or you think you did?
I think I did. I think it was
Nice.
long. Every other interview that they did was like 45 minutes.
Let's go.
Maybe it's because you're cute.
You kissed him?
I hung out with some. I was with some Eagles cheerleaders today. That was cool. I forgot about that. I was at Lincoln Financial all day.
All right, look, I'm gonna
I'll tell you about it next time.
Good shit. Love you.
And next week. So next week we're Crockpod. We're gonna start this Crockpot podcast, or we're TMJ.
TMJ. TMJ is a winner, but I mean that's gonna get pretty rough.
TMJ is just a great.
But how do you get TMJ if it's not a little rough? Good night, everybody.
YUNKJunk!